Welcome to the Evolutionary Biology class. So glad you are taking this class. I hope that you enjoy it. We are going to cover such a wide variety of topics. Essentially, evolutionary biology is integrating it all. A little bit of chemistry, a little bit of physics, a little bit of cell biology, a little bit of ecology. We're just trying to understand the planet. We're trying to understand life, how it got to be the way that it is, and some of the ways that maybe it's changing, and maybe we get to observe those changes as they happen. My name is Dr. Megan Peace. I hope you watch the video that explains a little bit more about who I am. In this video, we're going to stay focused on just talking about the course. So for the course, we are going to need two texts. The first text is this textbook called The Tangle Bank, An Introduction to Evolution by Carl Zimmer. I really like this textbook. One of the things that you're going to notice for this course is that I've made lecture slides, and I often reference this textbook. So please make sure to get it in whatever form you prefer, whether that's a physical hard copy like we see here, whether you want it electronic, you are going to need the textbook for this class. There's not a lot of good evolutionary biology textbooks out there, but this is one of the good ones. It's got some good case studies, and I really like the format. But it's not like some of your other typical textbooks, so there won't be homework assignments or quizzes. It's just a very bare bones kind of textbook. So get this textbook, The Tangle Bank by Carl Zimmer. The other book that you're going to need is a book called Into the Jungle by Sean Carroll. Dr. Sean Carroll still teaches up at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. And what he's done with this book is he's pulled together these nice narratives of some of the influential researchers in evolutionary biology. So we will be reading each of these chapters. We're not going to go in order. So please pay attention to the syllabus schedule. Pay attention to which chapter in our Into the Jungle book is going to fit with which chapter in the Tangle Bank. We're essentially going to be using data, evidence, observations to pull together a narrative of why things look the way they do, why they behave the way they do, why they got to be that way, and what kind of changes we might see going into the future. I personally love evolutionary biology because evolutionary biology is not always straightforward. A lot of times we're bouncing around. Sometimes we're at the cellular and molecular level. Sometimes we're at the ecosystem level. We're trying to understand all of these different things. And there's just so many questions. So of course we're going to talk about some of the extremes. And I've got some of the extremes here with us today. So this is a juvenile deer skull. And what I love about this skull is we can see where all the plates, all the bones started to fuse together. Deer, lots of members in the family, lots of different species. The extreme example of a deer species is over here on my right, and that's a moose. This skull is from a bull moose. We can see the place where those antlers would have attached. So we see the extremes in these two very closely related species. Of course, it's going to bring up a ton of different questions. One of the questions people most frequently have about deer and moose is why do they bother growing these antlers? Antlers, of course, are made of bone. So they have to invest a lot of energy and effort into growing these structures. And then when you see the size of some of these structures, these animals are walking through the forest. They could get caught up on things. They're prey species. The last thing you want to do is to get caught up on things and to have your speed and your ability to get away from predators inhibited or stopped. So why? Why would you do this? We know that if you have bigger antlers, you're more likely to breed, you're more likely to pass on your genes, but that doesn't feel complete enough. We're still working out this concept of sexual selection. And I have another extreme example of sexual selection here. This is a lily plant. This huge flower, and I wish you could smell it. It is intoxicatingly perfumey. This huge flower and all of its smell is the same as an antler. It's all about getting the genes mixed up. It's about getting the sperm and the egg of separate individuals combined. But the thing is with sexual reproduction, the thing is with recombining these genes, it doesn't benefit you, the parent. It only benefits the kid. Maybe the kid gets a new genetic combination. So again, we're back to that question, well then why did you invest all this energy making all of these structures, doing all of these things, just to give your kids a leg up? I'm telling you all this, I'm starting to get a little bit down the rabbit hole because I hope that you are curious. I hope that you bring curiosity to this class, you bring internal motivation, and you're willing to do the work. It will take some work, especially since a lot of this isn't necessarily intuitive. We're covering those basic biological concepts through the lens of evolution. So we're going to cover the scientific method. We're going to cover genetics, just like all the rest of the biology classes, but we're looking at it from a different point of view. And that in and of itself may be a little bit challenging, but it may be a little bit more fun than what you're used to and what you're accustomed to. So please take a look through the syllabus. Please make sure to pay very close attention to the schedule. Start looking ahead to these next weeks. See what things you've got going on in your life, how you can start to balance all of this. And hopefully you will learn a lot throughout this semester. Now, the one thing that I have to point out with this evolutionary biology class and the work that you're going to do is that it's going to be very tempting to use AI and to use artificial intelligence to give responses to questions. There will be a lot of short answer questions. And the thing is that I don't care if you use complete sentences. The point behind the assignments, the point behind these short answer questions is for me to start to learn about how you think about things. I want to hear your reasoning skills, your critical thinking skills, how you put things together. I don't mind if the responses are in the languages and in the way how you speak. I'm not expecting a high level of professionalism in your responses because it's the space where you're trying to articulate these concepts, you're trying to synthesize and bring things together. And sometimes that can get kind of messy when we try to communicate what our head is thinking about and how we're putting things together. So please don't use AI. AI is boring. If you are using AI, so is another student, and so is another student. So I'm going to read that same response, word for word, and that's boring. That's not why I'm here. That's not why you're here. You're here to change your brain. You are here to change how your neurons connect. And the thing about neurons is that they only connect when we ask them to. We make them do new things. When we start to think about things, that's when your neurons start to reach out those little spindly dendritic connections. And when the neurons start to connect, then we change our brain. Then we start to change how we look at things. We change who we are. And that's why you came to college. That's why you're taking this class. Yes, you can jump through the hoops and you can get the response. If you use AI, it'll get mostly right, but AI does not get it completely right because I'm asking you to synthesize things and bring things together, and that's something that AI still struggles with tremendously, but humans do really well. So the thing that will set you apart going forward in the future is your ability to put things together, your ability to see and perceive things, and this is where you get the training for it. You get it in a class like this, where I'm going to lay out a set of facts. We're going to learn some concepts. You're going to have to know the vocabulary so we have a shared language. So when I use a term, you know what I mean, and we can move on and get to the fun stuff. So we'll have the shared vocabulary. We'll have the shared set of concepts, and then we'll start to weave it all together. We'll bring it together so we can get to a deeper understanding. That is the goal of this class. Those skills that you gain in getting to that deeper level of understanding, those are the skills that you're going to carry on long beyond this class after you've forgotten about moose and how much they eat and how much energy they invest in making those antlers and all the other myriad of details that we're going to learn this semester. How those skills, your critical thinking, your analytical reasoning, that is what you will bring forward into whatever future endeavor you go through. Now in this class, we're going to have lecture slides. We're going to have assignments and homework and quizzes. All of that will be explained in my next video. Please make sure to watch the next video that will help you to navigate our Ego course site and get you into the mechanics of this course, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. The best way to reach me will be through email. Please note that my email address is in the syllabus and it's posted on the Eagle Canvas course site. At any point, if you have any trouble, don't hesitate to reach out. One of the things I say every semester is that if we, the faculty or professors, if we don't hear from you, we assume everything is going fine. So if you're struggling with something, if you're having issues, you just can't quite wrap your head around something, please, please, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can also stop by office hours. My office hours are posted in the syllabus and on the Eagle course site. Again, as I've posted on the Canvas site, make sure that you email me with a date and time when you would like to come and see me so I can dedicate that time to you. Sometimes students are dropping by and things get a little hectic in office hours. And if you know that you're struggling with something, I want to make sure to dedicate time and space to helping you wrap your head around whatever it is you might be struggling with. So reach out to me through email. If you stop by office hours, send me an email so we can get a dedicated time and space. We want to be able to help you here at Rock Valley College. If you don't like me, you don't want to come and see me, don't hesitate to stop by the tutoring center. Reach out to somebody. We want to make sure that you're getting the help and support so you can make it through this course successfully, and more importantly, get those skills that we know are going to help you later in your career. Well, I look forward to seeing you through video. Throughout this course, I will have short videos that distill important concepts. So you'll get to see me and my cats quite a bit. Please don't hesitate to send me a picture so that I can put a face with a name, because you'll probably see a lot more of me than I will of you in this asynchronous online class. Welcome to Evolutionary Biology. I look forward to the end of the 16 weeks and a successful completion